Okay, Krishna says this faithless people can never attain devotional service. Krishna says, I am present in everything, yet am not there in anything. Contradictory things has been spoken. Masthani sarva bhutani. Suddenly Krishna says, Nacha masthani bhutani. Everything is there in me, yet I am not there in anything. Nothing rests in me. That means everything is there in my jurisdiction. It's not necessary all should be there with me. That means in my abode. Then in this way, all the things are created, rest in me, went on like this. So 10th verse. Krishna says, I am the Adhyaksha. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Ketunanena Kaunteya Jagadavi Parivartate. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. I am the Adhyaksha. I am the president of all this Prakriti. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. I make them move. Suyate Sacharacharam. Manifest. In this way, char, achar, everything manifests because of me. Ketunani na kaunteya jagadavi parivartate. So I produce all moving, non-moving. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So, Maya Dhakshena Prakriti. It is in my superintendence. Prakriti, this material nature. Suyate, it manifests. It manifests, it unmanifests. Ketunanena means there is a reason behind its manifestation. There is reason behind unmanifestation also. It manifests, it unmanifests. And then Krishna says, it is created, then it is annihilated. Like this, it goes on happening. Okay. Aruna Upadhyay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagadvi Parivartate. The material nature, which is of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, the manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Purport. It is clearly stated here that the Supreme Lord, although aloof from all the activities of the material world, remains the Supreme Director. The Supreme Lord is the Supreme Will and the background of this material manifestation, but the management is being conducted by material nature. Krishna also states in Bhagavad Gita that all of the living entities in different forms and species. I am the father. The father gives seeds to the womb of the mother for the child. And similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his mere glance, injects all the living entities into the womb of material nature. And they come out in their different forms and species, according to their last desires and activities. All these living entities, although born under the glance of the Supreme Lord, take their different bodies according to their past deeds and desire. So the Lord is not directly attached to this material creation. He simply glance over material nature. Material nature is thus activated and everything is created immediately. Because he glances over material nature, there is undoubtedly activity on the part of the Supreme Lord, but he has nothing to do with the manifestation of the material world directly. The example is given in the Smriti. When there is a fragrant flower before someone, the fragrance is touched by the smelling power of the person. Yet the smelling and the flower are detached from one and another. There is a similar connection between the material world and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, he has nothing to do with this material world, but he creates his glance and orders. In summary, material nature without the superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot do anything. Yet the Supreme Personality is detached from all material activities. Hare Krishna.
Nice example is given of the flower and the fragrance. A person is getting the fragrance, but the fragrance has nothing to do with the person. At the same time, this fragrance is also separate from the flower. Though it is coming from the flower, the smell which is moving is separate from the flower. In the same way, Krishna, though the living entities are produced by him, the Prakriti is produced by him, still the Lord is not affected. Hetunani kaunte jagadavi parivartate. So everything manifests and manifests according to their own karmas. Everybody gets a body according to their own karmas. Now, avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. So mudhas, the stupid people, the ignorant people, mudhas, the foolish, they can never know me, Krishna says, because they consider my body to be of a human. Param bhavam ajananto. They can never understand ajananto, my param bhava. I am transcendental to all these material things. Mama bhuta maheshwaram. They can never understand that I am the Maheshwara. I am the supreme proprietor. Because they consider my body to be made up of matter, or they consider me to be an ordinary human, that is why they can never understand my supreme power. Okay. Prabhupada gets a chance to speak nicely because Prabhupada wants like this chance. When Lord tells foolish, the Prabhupada can say fools and rascals. You all cannot understand. Lord is the supreme person. See, it's such a big purport Prabhupada is saying. Oh, the purport goes to 3 pages. How many pages? Practically 3 pages. Okay. So it will be shared. Gita Mataji read. And the 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs you read. And then Goloka will read. Okay. Start.
Hare Krishna. Avajananti ma mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavamajanando mama bhuta maheshwaram. Purport. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme lord of all that be. Purport. From the other explanations of the previous verses in this chapter, it is clear that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although appearing like a human being, is not a common man. The personality of Godhead, who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the complete cosmic manifestation, cannot be a human being. Yet there are many foolish men who consider Krishna to be merely a powerful man and nothing more. Actually, he is the original Supreme Personality, as is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is Supreme Lord. There are many Ishwaras, controllers, and one appears greater than another. In the ordinary management of affairs in the material world, we find some official or director, and above him there is a secretary, and above him a minister, and above him a president. Each of them is a controller, but one is controlled by another. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Krishna is the supreme controller. There are many controllers, undoubtedly both in the material and spiritual world, but Krishna is the supreme controller, Ishvara Parama Krishna, and his body is Satchidananda, non-material. Material bodies cannot perform the wonderful acts described in previous verses. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Although he is not a common man, the foolish deride him and consider him to be a man. His body is called here manusium because he is acting just like a man, a friend of Arjuna's, a politician involved in the battle of Kurukshetra. In so many ways, he is acting just like an ordinary man, but actually his body is Sachidananda Vigraha, eternal bliss and knowledge absolute. This is confirmed in the Vedic language also, Sachidananda Rupaya Krishna. I offer my obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the eternal blissful form of knowledge, Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.1. There are other descriptions in the Vedic language also. Tam ekam Govindam. You are Govinda, the pleasure of the senses and the cows. Sachidananda Vigraham, and your form is transcendental, full of knowledge, bliss, and eternality. Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.35. Despite the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna's body, its full bliss and knowledge. There are many so-called scholars and commentators of Bhagavad Gita who deride Krishna as an ordinary man. The scholar may be born an extraordinary man due to his previous good work, but this conception of Sri Krishna is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, he is called Muddha. For only foolish persons consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being. The foolish consider Krishna an ordinary man, ordinary human being, because they do not know the confidential activities of Supreme Lord and his different energies. They do not know that Krishna's body is a symbol of complete knowledge and bliss, that he is the proprietor of everything that be and that he can award liberation to anyone. Because they do not know that Krishna has so many transcendental qualifications, they deride him. Mataji, or
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, start.
I'll
Read.
continue, Mataji.
Yeah.
Nor do they know that the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world is a manifestation of his internal energy. He is the master of the material energy, as has been explained in several places. Mama Maya Duratyaya. He claims that the material energy, although very powerful, is under his control, and whoever surrenders unto him can get out of the control of this material energy. If a soul surrendered to Krishna can get out of the influence of material energy, then how can the Supreme Lord, who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the whole cosmic nature, have a material body like us? So, this conception of Krishna is complete foolishness. Foolish persons, however, cannot conceive that the personality of Godhead Krishna, appearing just like an ordinary man, can be the controller of all the atoms and of the gigantic manifestation of the universal form. The biggest and the minutest are beyond their conception, so they cannot imagine that a form like that of a human being can simultaneously control the infinite and the minute. Actually, although he is controlling the infinite and the finite, he is apart from all this manifestation. It is clearly stated concerning his yoga Maishwaryam, his inconceivable transcendental energy, that he can control the infinite and the finite simultaneously, and that he can remain aloof from them, although the foolish cannot imagine how Krishna, who appears just like a human being, can control the infinite and the finite. Those who are pure devotees accept this, for they know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, they completely surrender unto him and engage in Krishna consciousness, devotional service of the Lord. There are many controversies between the impersonalists and the personalists about the Lord's appearance as a human being. But if we consult Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the authoritative texts for understanding the science of Krishna, then we can understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not an ordinary man, although he appeared on this as an ordinary human being. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, when the sages headed by Shanaka inquired about the activities of Krishna, they said, Kartavan kila karmani saha ramena keshavaha atimartyani bhagavan guda kapta manushaha. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with Balrama, played like a human being and so masked. He performed many superhuman acts. Bhagavatam 1.1.20. The Lord's appearance as a man bewilders the foolish. No human being could perform the wonderful acts that Krishna performed while he was present on this earth. When Krishna appeared from his father and mother Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared with 4 hands, but after the prayers of the parents, he transformed himself into an ordinary child. As stated in the Bhagavatam 10.3.46, Bhavava Prakrita Shishu. He became just like an ordinary child, an ordinary human being. Now here again it is indicated that the Lord as an ordinary human being is chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Also, it is stated that Arjun prayed to see Krishna's form of 4 hands. Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena. After revealing this form, Krishna, who when petitioned by Arjun, again assumed his original human-like form, Manusham Rupam. These different features of the Supreme Lord are certainly not those of an ordinary human being. Some of those who deride Krishna and who are infected with the Mayavadi philosophy quote the following verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29-21 to prove that Krishna is just an ordinary man. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vasatitaha sada. The Supreme is present in every living entity. We should better take note of this particular verse from the Vaishnava Acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instead of following the interpretation of unauthorized persons who deride Krishna. Jiva Goswami, commenting on this verse, says that Krishna, in his plenary expansion as Paramatma, is situated in the moving and the non-moving entities as the Supersoul. So any neophyte devotee who simply gives his attention to the Archamurti in the form of the Supreme Lord in the temple and does not respect other living entities is uselessly worshipping the form of the Lord in the temple. There are 3 kinds of devotees of the Lord, and the neophyte is in the lowest stage. The neophyte devotee gives more attention to the deity in the temple than to other devotees. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur warns that this sort of mentality should be corrected. A devotee should see that because Krishna is present in everyone's heart as Paramatma, everybody is the embodiment or the temple of the Supreme Lord. So as one offers respects to the temple of the Lord, he should similarly properly respect each and every body in which the Paramatma dwells. Everyone should therefore be given proper respect and should not be neglected. There are so many impersonalists who deride temple worship. They say that since God is everywhere, why should one restrict himself to temple worship? But if God is everywhere, he is not in the temple or in the deity. Although the personalist and the impersonalist will fight with one another perpetually, a perfect devotee in Krishna consciousness knows that although Krishna is a supreme personality, he is all-pervading as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Although his personal abode in Goloka Vrindavan, and he is always staying there, by his different manifestations of energy and by his planetary expansion, he is present everywhere in all parts of the material and spiritual creation. Hare Krishna.
Such a big purpose.
Mataji,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, yeah.
Ashish is trying to join, but he is not able to join. He is getting a message stating that host will add you.
It's a host, Gautam. Gautam. What is this? Gautam is not. Gautam ko phone lagao. Gautam is the only host there. Ask Gautam to add.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
he has added, Mataji. He joined.
Yes, child. Moghasha Mogha Karmanu. So any doubts in this purpose?
Yeah, Mataji, I
Yeah,
have
ask.
doubt. Why it is
Huh.
told Babuva Prakrita Shishu?
What?
When Krishna took Janam, no, that time it is called Babuva Prakrita Shishu. What is the meaning
He
of that?
became just
actually?
like an ordinary child, appeared like a prakritaha shishu. Like how the child comes from the womb of the mother, naked, crying.
Yeah.
So in Braj, he appeared like that. Ambalika's cord is cut. But when he appeared to Devaki, all these things were not there. He appeared with the
He
four-handed form.
born with the Chaturbhuja, no?
That is
First,
at Mathura. There Narayana is born, not
Yeah.
Krishna.
Ah,
Krishna's expansion, Narayana. Krishna
Yeah.
is born only in Braja, like a small child. Bhaboha Prakritaha Shishu. Along
Acha.
with him, Durga ji is born.
Okay.
Is Janmashtami, Durgashtami also. Okay. Any other doubt? It's a big purpose. Okay.
Mataji, one doubt I had, Mataji. Like here, Srila Prabhupada is in the Prabhupada wrote that people they say that God is everywhere. Then why only to go to temple, or why only the deity form? Mataji, what good answers or statements can we give for these such questions? If you could enlighten with that.
You off the fan. What people say? Havani, Havani. Havani. You on the fan? Makes you feel the presence of air. Similarly, you go to temple, it makes you feel the presence of God. God is not only in the temple, God is there in the dustbin also. But if you see the dustbin, you cannot feel the presence of Krishna. But for acharyas like Gaur Kishore Das Baba, they can go and meditate in the place where people evacuate. It doesn't make a difference. When we go and sit there, we will just think, oh, Chikanda, this is Kanda, that is Kanda. So we are not able to see Lord everywhere. That is why temple makes our consciousness pure, makes us understand the presence of Krishna. Our God is present everywhere. God is there in the stool also. After looking at the stool, will you remember Krishna? That consciousness we don't have. Okay. Mogha Mogha Karmani, Mogha Jnana Vichetasah, Rakshasim Surim Chaiva, Prakritim Mohinim Shitaha. Mogha Mogha Karmani, Mogha Jnana Vichetasah, Rakshasim Surim Chaiva, Prakritim Mohinim Shitaha. Moghashaha. So hopes are there. Baffled in the hopes. Moga karmana. Baffled in the fruitive activities. Moga jnana. Baffled in knowledge. Vichetasaha. They're completely bewildered. Who rakshasim? Asuras. They're so deluded. And asurim, they're artistic. Certainly prakritim mohinim shitaha. In this way, they have taken shelter of this prakriti. They are completely bewildered by this prakriti and they are in the deluding state. When the illusion is increased or intensifies, it becomes delusion. So that is why their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, the culture of knowledge are all defeated. Why they are defeated? Because they may aim many things. It may not happen exactly what they want. Because ultimately, people may desire many things, but approval is given by Krishna. So artistic person may think Ravana also wanted a staircase directly to heaven. Even he was also hoping that, oh, I'm the king of the universe. He was thinking like that. I will make a staircase directly to the heaven. He may have many hopes, but everything is baffled. Everything is defeated. One bomb on the head, gone. Isn't it? Now bombs are going there in where? Hamas, Gaza. All their hopes got defeated, isn't it? When internal wars only like this happens, Then just think, when a person takes war with Krishna and thinking that I can just do whatever I want, then Maya Shakti of Krishna intentionally deludes him. Initially, he gets everything what he wants. Afterwards, the same thing becomes a cause of his problem. That is why all his hopes are completely gone. You see, every demon, they are blessed with some whatever their desires, blessed with their desires. Afterwards, their very desire became the cause of problem. Okay. Okay. Mayur Prabhu, read.
मोघाशामोघकर्माणो मोहज्ञानाचेतसः राक्षसीम् आसुरीं चैव प्रकृतिं मोहिनीं श्रितः. Meaning, those who are thus bewildered are attached by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their future activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. Purport. There are many devotees who assume themselves to be in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, but at heart do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, as the absolute truth. For them, the fruit of devotional service going back to Godhead will never be tasted. Similarly, those who are engaged in fruitive pious activities and who are ultimately hoping to be liberated from this material entanglement will never be successful either, because they deride the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. In other words, persons who mock Krishna are to be understood to be demonic or atheistic. As described in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, such demonic miscreants never surrender to Krishna. Therefore, their mental speculations to arrive at the absolute truth bring them to the false conclusion that the ordinary living entity and Krishna are one and the same. With such a false conviction, they think that the body of any human being is now simply covered by material nature, and that as soon as one is liberated from this material body, there is no difference between God and himself. This attempt to become one with Krishna will be baffled because of delusion. Such atheistic and demonic cultivation of spiritual knowledge is always futile. That is the indication of this verse. For such persons, cultivation of the knowledge in the Vedic literature, like the Vedanta Sutra and the Upanishads, is always baffled. It is a great offense, therefore, to consider Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to be an ordinary man. Those who do so are certainly deluded because they cannot understand the eternal form of Krishna. The Brahad Vishnu Smriti clearly states, Yo Vekti Bhautikam Deham Krishnaya Paramatmanaha Shasarva Bahiskarya Shakta Smruta Vidantaha Mukham.
यो वेत्ति भौतिकं देहं कृष्णस्य परमात्मनः स सर्वस्माद् बहिष्कार्य श्रौतस्मार्थ विधानतः मुखं तस्यावलोक्यापि सचेलं स्नानमाचरेत्.
One who considers the body of Krishna to be material should be driven out from all rituals and activities of Shruti and Smriti. And if one if one by chance sees his face, one should at once take bath in Ganges to rid himself of infection. People jeer at Krishna because they are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their destiny is certainly to take birth after birth in the species of atheistic and demonic life. Perpetually, the real knowledge will remain under delusion, and gradually they will regress to the darkest region of creation. Hare Krishna.
Next. महात्मानस्तु मां पार्थ दैवीं प्रकृतिमाश्रिताः भजन्त्यनन्यमनसो ज्ञात्वा भूतादिमव्ययम्. Now, 2nd October, we discussed this verse. Who is the Mahatma? Generally, we say this Mahatma Gandhi. Who is a Mahatma? Mahatma is one who has taken the ashraya of Devi Prakriti. Srila Prabhupada says is not Mahatma, is Duratma. Because never took the shelter of Devi Prakriti. So, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakriti Mashita. Whoever has taken the shelter of Daivim Prakriti, that person is Mahatma. And what is the Devi Prakriti? What it makes a person do? Bhajanya Mananya Manasu. Ananya Manasaha. Undeviated, unalloyed devotional service. Then that person who does such services will understand Gyatva Bhutadim Avyayam. That Krishna is Bhutadim Avyayam. He is the origin. Bhuta Adim is the origin of all living entities, and also Avyayam, inexhaustible, imperishable. Okay. Pushpa Mataji, read. Read.
Hare Krishna. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritimashritaha bhajanti ananyo manaso nyatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. In this verse, the description of the Mahatma is clearly given. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. And how is this effected? That is explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, at once becomes freed from the control of material nature. That is the qualification. One can become free from the control of material nature as soon as he surrenders his soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the preliminary formula. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is freed from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of the spiritual nature. The guidance of the spiritual nature is called Daivi Prakriti, divine nature. So when one is promoted in that way, by surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains to the stage of great soul, Mahatma. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma or great soul develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or of a human being. They meditate only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in the unswerving service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Yes. So they are always serving Lord. So unalloyed devotional service. When a person takes the ashraya of Daivim Prakriti, that is Radharani, then one can get the chance to do unalloyed devotional service. Because of this, one can understand the supremacy of Krishna. So what happens when a person takes the ashraya of the unalloyed ashraya of Daivim Prakriti? That is the 14th verse which speaks. When you are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what it is? Daivim Prakriti. You are taken ashraya of Hare, Radharani, Hara, Mother Hara, He Radhe, Hare, Sambodhana, evocative form. Satatam kirtayanto mam ye jana paryupasate namasyantascha. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dulabataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dulabataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Chant my name always, Krishna says. Always chant my name. Yatantascha drulavataha. Drulavataha. Endeavor. How? With determination. Drulavataha. Enthusiasm. Determination. Namasantascha mam bhaktya. Pay obeisances to me. Become my devotee. Nitya yukta. Always be connected to me. Feed me. Dress me. Feed me. Be connected to me. In this way, worship me. Always think about him. How to dress him, how to feed him, what to do next for him. If you focus everything for Krishna, then that is Daivim Prakritim Ashitaha. Whole day should go in this only. What I should do for him. They say we don't have other engagement or what? Other engagement is also for Krishna only. Other engagement should not be an excuse. You're going to office, think about him. Always think about him. Nitya Yukta Upasati. We forget Krishna, that is the problem. We only remember Krishna only while chanting. Other times we forget him. So always be connected to him. Think various plans to get connected to him. You can talk to your friend, make him Krishna conscious. So in this way, always think about how to make people Krishna conscious by making ourselves Krishna conscious. When you talk to people, naturally you are also thinking about Krishna. Somebody doesn't want to hear, okay, to go to the third person and speak. You can try out many people. There's not a harm. Okay. You see LIC people, they go on talking to everyone. Generally, it is LIC people catch hold of the people like cockroaches. Generally, they used to make fun of them. And like you have cockroach in the house, it's very difficult to get rid of the cockroach. So in the same way, just catch hold of everyone. Try to Jari Deko Tare Ko Krishna Updesh. Okay, you are not interested, I'll go to the next one. You go on trying. First, you try with your family members. They will only first will be agitating. Some may accept, some may not accept. Some may argue with you. No problem. Then try next. Try nine. So this is what you have to do. Okay, fundraising. Hello, I'll ask you. Go on doing something or the other should be there. Some or the other activity should be there. One should not be lazy in Krishna consciousness. Ramanujacharya says every day there should be Utsava. Pitrupaksh over, next now Durga Puja. Something on next Kartik. After that, Yatra. After that, Hare Krishna festival. After that, Gaur Purnima. After that, Ram Navami. After that, go on. You have so much opportunity to collect the funds, isn't it? Go talk to people. They will come, they'll think, why he has come before me? No problem. Go to the next. Don't stick yourself to anyone. Some may like, some may not like. It doesn't matter what somebody likes or not. You have to be active in Krishna conscious. That is more important, isn't it? Okay. Hari Chaitanya Prabhu, read. Hari Chaitanya Prabhu, read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. 1 minute, Mataji. My
14th verse. So this will be the last verse for today. Read.
1 minute.
You're having book or not?
Yes, Mataji. I lost the. I have book in my mobile, but I.
Okay, 9.14. Read.
Tatatam kirtayanto mam vitantascha dridavritah namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Translation. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Purport. The Mahatma cannot be manufactured by rubber stamping an ordinary man. His symptoms are described here. A Mahatma is always engaged in chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. He has no other business. He is always engaged in the glorification of the Lord. In other words, he is not an impersonalist. When the question of glorification is there, One has to glorify the Supreme Lord, praising his holy name, his eternal form, his transcendental qualities, and his uncommon pastimes. One has to glorify all these things. Therefore, a Mahatma is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is attached to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord, the Brahmajyotir, is not described as Mahatma in the Bhagavad Gita. He is described in a different way in the next verse. The Mahatma is always engaged in different activities of devotional service as described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Hearing and chanting about Vishnu, not a demigod or human being, that is devotion. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu and Smaranam, remembering him. Such a Mahatma has firm determination to achieve at the ultimate and the association of the Supreme Lord in any one of the five transcendental rasas. To achieve that success, he engages all activities, mental, bodily, and vocal, everything in the service of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. That is called full Krishna consciousness. In devotional service, there are certain activities which are called determined, such as fasting on certain days, like the 11th day of the moon, Ekadashi, and on the appearance day of the Lord. All these rules and regulations are offered by the great acharyas for those who are actually interested in getting admission into the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Admission.
In the
Full
transcendental world,
admission like that. If you
the
have to be
Mahatmas,
admitted in
great
the
souls,
Golok Dham, then you have to follow all these things. Okay.
the Mahatmas, great souls strictly observe all these rules and regulation, and therefore they are sure to achieve the desired results. As described in the second verse of this chapter, not only in this devotional service, not only is this devotional service easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. One does not need to undergo any severe penance and austerity. He can live this life in a devotional service, guided by an expert spiritual master, and in any position, either as a householder or a sannyasi or a brahmachari, in any position and anywhere in the world, he can perform this devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus become actually Mahatma, a great soul. Hare Krishna.
Okay. So here we'll stop. Next week, we'll try to complete this portion. 9th chapter. 10th chapter, how many verses are there? 41 verses are there.
42
That will
Mataji.
take 42. Like 6 verses per day or so. It will take approximately 2 weeks. And that will do in the morning. It will not be in the evening. Because after 28, my all kathas will start for 1 hour, 1 year. One month, sorry, 1 month. It's Kartik month. Lagu kathas everywhere. So morning hours only I can do. Maybe 7 to 8. You want more early, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock? I don't know.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I will have 4.5 hour time difference, Mataji, from India.
So you want
So,
9 o'clock? I can do 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock is okay.
9 to 10 we can do.
That will be better.
So those who are office goers, they have to keep in their ears and hear.
From 27th,
28th, whatever. So 1 month, do tapasya. Or 8 to 9 we can have.
this month,
Mataji, 9 to
Mataji.
10, please. It will be 3 o'clock.
9.
Otherwise, for me.
Yeah. This month, 28 onwards, katha starts.
Actually, we
The
are going
Kartik
to
starts.
Vrindavan this month.
You go hear from there. Not a
Acha,
problem.
okay. 26th, we are going to Vrindavan.
Wherever you go. You want to go to Goloka also, you can go hear from there. You want to go to hell, go there, hear from there. In your devotees, what they'll do? They'll go and preach Krishna
We will
consciousness.
be traveling to temples, no? Let's see.
You'll get all connectivity, don't worry.
Okay.
What is the work of the devotee in the hell? Bombay is a hell now. So what is the work here? Just chant the holy name and be happy. Make others also chant the holy name and be happy. So material world itself is a hell. But just chant and be happy. Okay? Hare Krishna. Stop here. And Jatkapitali passing the Devacha Patkanam Pavani Vaishnavi Bhunavan. Vaishnavi in the Kicha Shila Prabhupada Kicha.